Now let's talk about the map view and the map view interface. So let's go back to a map that we're currently on. We can see our list of maps here. We've got our map folder. We've got a base map that we've downloaded offline. Let's move that into our Vernon folder because it belongs in there as well. Move. And we'll just put it in this top folder. Perfect. So we can see again here, we're actually on this map itself, and we're on these other maps that are inside of our collection. So let's go into our collection since we were able to make that up. And let's pick this District of Coldstream parcel, an imported map from an agency that we received. It indicates here that we're on that map right now, and we can see actually the difference, in the resolution of the maps just from the file size. This one is much larger than these other maps, and these maps would just individually be able to be sent by email, whereas a parcel map like this, it's probably way too big for most emails and would have to be sent through Dropbox or something like that. So we can click on that map. So this is the map view, and let's what we'll do is we'll just work around this map view here. So now that we're in a collection, we've got a little bit of a legend up here. Again, we showed how to use that earlier. If you just click on each of the maps individually, the map that's currently in view will change. So we'll keep this map here. This little X kind of marks where our crosshairs are on that map. And the little dot on this map indicates our location. So if we put that crosshair on or close to our location, you can see in the top here that that crosshair moves closer towards it. Just helps us when we've got a whole bunch of maps and unable to see the edges of the map exactly where we are on the map. So now we talked a little bit about this right now is this blue dot. This blue dot is our location, and this little arrow, this little point on the blue dot, that indicates where the direction that we're pointing in. So if I just take my iPad right now and I wheel in my little office chair and give myself a spin, you can see that that little arrow or that little point is totally spun around. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit further into this map. So yeah, we were able to see that. And that's the indication of exactly where we are on this map. The next thing, if we go up to the top here and work our way around, is a search bar. The search bar allows us to search for features that we've added to the map or data that's been added to the map. So if we click on it, we get a little bit of a search box. So if we have added any data points or place markers and had a name for them, a special name for them, the incident command posts or staging area 1, we can search for that here. There is a little information box here. That information box just talks about information about the map itself that we're using. So not super relevant to us, but we're able to edit and change the name of the map if that makes more sense to us. So we'll just get out of that. Next is this little triangle up here. We can see right now that it's not filled in. But as soon as we click this little dot up top here, what it will do is it'll recenter these crosshairs in the map onto our position, and it will continue to track our position. So if we were in a vehicle and we wanted to, if we wanted to collect or pin and note all of the hydrants that are in the area, we would first want to make sure that we clicked this button. That would recenter the map on ourselves so that when we were parked by a hydrant without having to get in and out each time, that when we place a marker in this position, it'll be placed right where we are. So that's a way, no matter where you are on the map, to recenter the map onto your position and to have it follow and track you. If you don't see this blue dot on the map, anywhere on the map, or if you have a problem when you click this, not being able to to find that center position or your position on the map, it's likely because you have the GPS turned off for your iPad. So that can be found up here. We can find our GPS within the settings here and just make sure that our location settings are turned on. So on this one, it might be inside of No, it's not inside of here. We can find that later here, and it'll be different for each of your iPads how they're set up. But there'll be a location tag here that you'll be able to find. And just make sure that it's enabled. So the next thing is this set of crosshairs. So when we're applying any data to the map, it's going to always be where that crosshair, the dot in the center of this crosshair is. So we use that, as a location when we're trying to draw lines or trying to place data on the map or points on the map. The next thing is a compass. So if we take the map and we put 2 fingers on the map and turn, what happens is we can orient the map. So if we were looking this direction that we're currently looking now, down towards the lake here, and we wanted to orient the map the way that we were looking to the ground, we can actually spin the map around within the application like this. And you can see actually that the compass is turned and actually appeared now. If we want to reorient the map to north, we can just click on that and it reorients the map. Again, if we just tilt the map or spin the map slightly, it gives us that compass bearing again. So another feature in the map view here is the add place mark symbol. So wherever our crosshairs are positioned, when we press this button, it will give us some options to add our place mark. So in this view, the keyboard cuts off a lot of it. I'll just push that keyboard down a little bit. So it talks about, the name, the coordinates, what layer that this place marker is on, the style of place marker that we're using. So we're using a red one here, and the elevation that it's at and when it was created, and some other attributes if we had something, pre-built. For this. It's a little beyond what we're going to be doing in this course, and we'll talk about placing data on the map later, but I just wanted to show you the functionality of that button. The next button we've got here is this little icon. It looks like a couple sheets of paper. It is, if we click onto it, it is our layer button. So it shows layers that we have associated with our map. We have just a generic layer that's been generated automatically for our map. If we wanted to export layers or import layers or create layers, we can use this. But all the layers that are on this map, and we'll talk about layers later, they'll be listed in this section. So if we need to find any information about that, we go to that location. In the very center of our screen here is our location, so our coordinate location. So as we move the map, you can see the coordinates move. There is also another little pull-up here. If we just grab to the top of this bar and drag up, there is some more information under here. It's a little bit beyond what we're going to cover in this course, but we can see that we have contact with GPS right now. We've got an altitude. It shows the level of accuracy we have and a bearing that we're positioned at. As I turn the iPad or turn myself, we can see how many degrees bearing change that we do have. There's a few tabs in here. Tracking, if we're using the tracking function or the navigation function. We can enable those through here, and if we want to get rid of this, we can just drag this back down. Again, they're a little bit beyond this course, and we'll be going over those in the advanced course. On the bottom left-hand side, we have another button here. It's a tool feature. When we open it up, we've got our draw and measure tool. We'll talk about this a lot later when we're talking about adding data to the map on a layer. We have our record GPS tracks. Again, this is another advanced feature. We use this when we want to record a path that we're walking or taking. This is super useful if we're trying to calculate the distance and time for escape routes and have those established on our device. Navigate to destination is a feature that we're not going to be going over, but like the name says, it helps you navigate to different features and destinations that you select. Find by coordinates is an option if you have a coordinate grid that you're given by somebody else or another agency, you can type those coordinates in, and it'll center those crosshairs on that coordinate. So if you're sent on a seek and destroy mission, or if you are sent to a medical aid and they've provided you a GPS coordinates for that, that will help. You might be able to get that coordinate over the radio and then be able to input that into your Avenza system. There's another option here for Pro that we're not going to go over. It's just relates to the accuracy of the GPS system and to help you become or to plot more accurately if you're using these in a professional setting. Monitor geofences is an option. Again, we're not going over, but basically you can create lines on the map, and if you enter that area, let's say it's a hazardous spill area or a danger tree zone that you can identify, or an area that hasn't been marked for danger trees, the app will alert you that you've entered into that geofence. And then we've got View in Google Maps, which is interesting. If we click this button, it will take us to the location of the crosshair in Google Maps itself. So if we're trying to maybe attempt to find like a street view in order to do help with a fire investigation, or identify some features maybe in the daytime by using Google Street View or the aerial view in Google Maps. This can help us transfer between Avenza and between the Google Maps program. And then plot photos is the final option and tool in here. So if people have been taking photos that have metadata on them, like the location and direction that the photograph was taken, those photographs, as you upload them into the map and plot them on the map, there will be pins throughout the map of the location that the photo was taken and the photo embedded with that. So that can be useful if people identify something like, like let's say a bear, and they've taken a picture of it. You can actually embed that. Or if they take pictures of different hazards, maybe there is fuel flaring off from an industrial site, or like a spill or something like that, and someone was only able to get a photograph of it and not really plot it. You're able to plot those pictures, and they create a point automatically for you. So that might be a quicker way actually of embedding that data into a map. So we can close that. So that's the map view and the map view tab, and how to utilize and the features that we have access to in the map view.